Hi guys, me again. Trawsome from Netherton. I'm just going to be trying something now. You're not going to be able to see my face unfortunately because I haven't got a tripod still. But this is just me doing some onions, etc. I did say on my last video that I will be trying to do something where you actually see me doing things instead of me just showing you what I've done. You'll have to bear with me. I've just done a trial video and I think I did the Swedish chef. I might upload it as a bit of a laugh, but hey ho, nothing to write home about. I hope this is okay. Just take it with a pinch of salt. It's just me trying things. Hopefully you can get my face in at some stage, although I'm pretty I was gonna say I'm pretty ugly, but no, that's probably a fair point. But hopefully this is just shows you how I do my onion sets, etc. As you know from previous videos, I've already got some in. But anyway, here we go. So I'm coming into shop, but all you'll see is my hands, I'm afraid. So there you go. You can hopefully see my hands. Obviously, when I look back at this before I upload it, and you can't see my hands or can't see me doing anything, I won't upload it. And if I probably move down a bit, you can probably see me now. But anyway, bear with me. I'm trying. I'm very trying, apparently. I'm gonna get rid of this. And as I say in Blue Peter, these are some trays I've sorted out beforehand. And they are very dry, which they would be. Okay. I've always done this with onions. I even did the ones that are outside. Exactly the same last year. I've always done it this way. Never had a problem. In fact, I've always had a problem putting the onion sets directly in the soil. They always get pinched by the birds, and you spend the next sort of 4 weeks putting them all back in. So I've always done it this way, right or wrong. Toilet inners, cut in half, filled up with some good old fashioned cheap, I'm sorry, but it's cheap Verve multi-purpose compost. Doesn't have to be anything really superb. Just noticed that I did this early before I went to I've been to the pub and I had some nice Sunday dinner. Just like to say actually, Sean, I've literally just been watching you live. Made a few comments about I've got to get over to the plot myself. So this is really in real time, in as much as I've just been commenting and watching you. Great stuff, good bit of fun. But like I say, this is how I do my onion sets. Now all I've got to do now, because I'm not prepped, I'm not prepared, I've now got to try and find the onions. They were here somewhere. Here they are. So I have lots of onions. I'm going to do the red ones. You've seen plenty of people saying don't use the rotten ones. They're quite right. You can see that one, hopefully you can see, there's a bit of damage on that. I'm not going to even bother contemplating using that. There's certainly not 50 in here, but doesn't matter. Get the best ones out. There's no point in wasting time with the really bad ones. It really is just false economy. Everybody says be very careful of this, the root system here. Yes, do. Hence why this has been put in. I've tapped it down a bit. I don't put holes in. I literally, you can see this hopefully when I play this back, but I literally just gently touch them into the soil. All I'm after is the roots to start setting. That's all I want. I want to know how many of these are going to start to fire. If they don't fire within the next, I don't know, 7 to 10 days, there's no point in putting them outside because they're not going to fire, they're not going to grow. It's just a waste of time. As I said, I just gently put them in. Don't put too much pressure on them. And the great thing about using toilet rolls, These will keep the moisture in, and I won't water these over the top. I'll actually water from below and let it soak up the water. That one's okay. I've already sorted through these once, but again, some of them might have already started going. They weren't quite squidgy when I actually looked at them last time. They might have deteriorated. So just keep, when you're doing this, just keep making sure they're okay. And as I said, I'm hardly putting any pressure on these. Like I say, I haven't compacted this soil really hard. I'm just getting the growing end, even that one. And that's okay. But I just check them again. Now, I've got to admit, red onions as a whole. I don't know why. It must be just, I don't know. I'm not very good at growing red onions. You can see that one there. See, I've just checked that one. That's gone. There's no point. Don't even contemplate it. And also, don't put onions on your compost bins. Okay? It's a no-no. You can put them on a separate compost bin, but just don't put them in your normal compost bin. It's just not worth it. I think it's something to do with the acidity of the onions, etc. I'm not too sure. I'm not a horticulturist person. I picked all this up myself by watching good guys like Sean and Muddy Boots and all the rest of the guys on YouTube for over the years, and just reading lots and lots in books and really boring my daughter out, to be perfectly honest. No, that's okay. This is all I do. I'm so glad that I've got this polytunnel up now because it's nice and dry. I was in here this morning and it was 16 degrees in here. I had to take my coat off to work in here, doing all this soil, etc., and doing a bit of clearing up, which is great. But then it started me thinking I better get a stock of either bottles of water. I've got to get my kettle so I can have a cuppa. My frying pan's gone back home to be washed up because I kept forgetting to take it home and it got a bit, I kept doing bacon sandwiches down here. So I've got to do a bit of sorting out on that as well. But as I said, it's all I do. Now I've got another 3 of these trays at home. Some more red onions and some more white onions. I've only brought these down in the car today. Before you say anything, my car is parked up in the car park, which will be still there in the morning because I've had a couple of pints and not driving back before anybody says anything. I am sensible in that aspect, but it's literally only a 2-minute walk from my house. The reason why I use the car before anybody mentions it, I went and picked up a friend of mine from the other side in Sedgley to come and have some Sunday dinner with me, and also I had to bring some trays down and some bits and pieces. So I thought, there you go, let's do that. Go and pick my friend up, work colleague, have something nice to eat, have a bit of a couple of pints, watch a bit of footy. He's gone back on the bus now, and I thought I'll finish all this off. So that's a good one. And when you've been poorly over the last few weeks with a good old-fashioned knee, it's nice to get out and about, so hence I'm doing this. Please let me know if I'm boring you to tears on the comments below. Honestly, I will get better. And I have just purchased a GoPro camera. It's not the world's best one, but I bought one. It's actually in a waterproof one. It's got the case and everything, so you can go deep sea diving or something with it. Anyway, thought I'd get one. Let's have a go. I used to be all into this technical stuff years ago, so I've got to sort of re-get my take my laptop off my daughter. Oh dear. And try and do some editing properly and try and get some bit better footage for you guys. So I hope this is not too boring. And I do apologise that I can't always splice and edit the videos together. But let's just put these white ones in. Probably not enough toilet rolls in this tray to quite finish them off, but as I said, I'm always constantly testing them, making sure. That's a bit harder. just making sure they are. And then when I pop these in the soil when they've started to root, that one's gone mushy. So, bin, and I missed. Oh well, play for England. Cricket wise. Put them in, but obviously once they've rooted and sprouted, they'll go in and they'll go lower than this, so that the soil comes up and around the tops. So all you'll see is the little shoot from the top. Like I say, the only reason I put them in really on the tops of here is literally just to get them to start to root. Before anybody says they're meant to be an inch lower and they're meant to be up to this point here, yes, you are quite correct. But not when I put them in modules. This is how I do it. And to be perfectly honest, I've never had a problem with it. When I first came onto this particular site in March, I'd got racks and racks of onions at home, and I put them in one of the beds, and one of the guys that's been here for a while said they've got I'm trying to think the disease now, don't know if it's white rot, but anyway, the actual growing stems are all curly whirled, which is normally a sign of some form of disease. And I said to him, I said, oh, you'll find that isn't that disease that you're on about. It's simply because they've been in the house, and because they've been in the house, lack of light, they've got a bit not distraught, you work out the word, but you know what I mean. But he was adamant. Anyway, 2.5 months, 3 months later, when I came to harvest them, they were all perfectly fine. So even people that have been here for a long time sometimes get it wrong. But it may be because I was the newborn on the block. He may have thought I didn't know what I was on about. I don't know everything. I know very little, but on that aspect, I did. So let's just put that on there. And I've got a few more here. So hopefully that one's okay. Yeah, okay. The other thing as well, actually, by doing them in these pots, because they're not in a multi-pot, as in a plastic tray, I have found if some of them do start to go, and as in go off, that's the squidges, and if it starts to go, you can whip that one out, and I found that it doesn't actually spread the disease as quickly as I know it sounds daft, but in those plastic multi-cells, they tend to spread the disease, I feel, quicker between plants, especially dampening off, etc. If you got them in these tubs, just whip the tub out and get rid of it now, you know, quickly, and it's done. It's just something that I've found. That's okay. But there you go. I'm probably on to about 20 minutes now, and you're probably all sitting there thinking I'm really boring. But I thought I'd try and do something that's a bit more seeing what I actually do. I've said to everybody all the way along, I'm not an expert. I have a bit of fun. I've picked it up.